Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to CNA Weekend Recap. Justin, Josh, Ken, coming to you as always from the Geek Cave. And we're going to get right into it this week because there's a lot of content out there that we want to talk about. First, we're going to go with our fan favorite Marvel and She-Hulk bringing the heat this week.
Love this episode.
Tell us about it.
I mean, it's got everything. It had freaking everything. We got Daredevil.
Yes.
We got the intelligentsia shit come to a head. There was some really okay, I watched the fight scene between Daredevil and She-Hulk a few times. I mean, that was badass by itself. But I'm gonna drop this and then let y'all talk. But we got Daredevil in a hallway.
Yes. We got that little homage. And when they lined up, I was like, nah, they're going to go opposite ways. She-Hulk's coming down on this scene. And yep, lo and behold, that's what they did.
But the little moment we got where he even pops his tool out, knocks the dude
Yeah,
out.
I've seen the Billy Club do some cool shit. That was
And
awesome.
the CGI, giving him some CGI movements that we wouldn't have seen in the
No, we
show,
wouldn't have.
where he's, hopping around like freaking Spider-Man, That scene where he dives off the building and she looks at him and he's just parkouring down. I mean,
It's a different Daredevil than we've seen so far. And definitely not as grim and gritty as he was in the Netflix.
Just let's make it clear.
Everything.
It's the same actor, more or less the same suit, but this is not going to probably not be the same character.
No, they're doing Born Again. It's a completely new version of everything.
he pretty much confirmed that in an interview a month or so back. He said this is a new story, a new character. So I'm okay with that.
And I liked how they got him into LA. It was a natural evolution of the story. He was doing a favor for the guy who made his suit, so naturally he came and defended him in a law case. So that
Kicked some
and
ass.
you got your wish.
I do. It's so hard.
Fighting while arguing legal precedent.
Yes, I was like, yes, I'm so happy right now, Disney. You did it.
They know what we like. They know what we need. They really do.
Of course, we get Daredevil doing the walk of shame down the street.
That's so
Which
good.
is-
I'm gonna have to find an art deco piece or something of that, just with the shoes in hand. And sorry, man.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think what I liked the best about it, we got to watch Daredevil and She-Hulk have sex, or implied, but he didn't have sex with She-Hulk. He had sex with Jennifer Walters.
Right.
And I think that's kind of important for her character's evolution a little bit.
Yeah, she's been having some serious identity issues. So
Their chemistry was incredible. I thought.
yeah, I love how we all believe this episode had ended with the walk of shame.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Wait a minute, what the hell are y'all still doing? The episode's over."
Oh, and then what did we get with the makeup tools?
The Wolverine claws. Yeah, we get the mention of a Red Hulk and Wolverine. Oh man.
No, or am I getting fridged? I thought that was a nice cut.
Yes.
Those of you who don't know, Marvel one time killed a hero's significant other, and he found her cracked in half in the fridge, and it was just for a plot point.
What's in the fridge?
Yes, yo, dead woman. But yeah, so we got a great ending with her finally raging out, pretty much.
Hulk smash.
Yeah, and I didn't know this, so apparently that was damage control soldiers who showed up at the end.
Oh yeah.
But why the fuck were they there in the first place?
I got there really quickly.
Yeah, I mean, immediate.
Damage control is quickly being set up as the precursor to a superhero registration kind of thing. I think that will be the MCU's version of the mutant registration.
Yeah,
is the
worldwide
crackdown.
You think it'll be different than the Sokovia Accords, which they say have been
Which they said
ratified?
have been, yes, and I believe it will be a nationalist response because you know how they like to kind of mimic reality in some of this stuff. There's a real rise in nationalism going on. I believe that's how this will be. I believe it will be a nationalist type response.
It'd be a good way to do that.
With the Sokovia Accords saying it's okay to be a superhero, there's going to be this angry portion of the country that is going to come out and say no superheroes.
It's a really good way to do it in timing, because the Registration Act is mostly known for the mutants. It eventually came around for any hero in existence, but I think it's a way we might get into the mutants more.
I mean, look how violent Damage Control was at the end of Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
They were the Gestapo. They weren't adhering to laws. There was this blind hatred of anyone with a power.
definitely.
I think that's just going to build and build and build as more mutants get introduced into it. And it'll probably be pushed even further with the rise of a mutant that's attacking the surface world with Namor.
And we still aren't quite sure the timeline on that one, so we'll see exactly how it goes.
True. It could have already happened.
Yeah, so we don't know. Ken, you got any final thoughts on She-Hulk?
No. I enjoyed
Best
it.
episode yet.
Yeah, and can't wait to see the finale.
Mhm.
We'll be here to talk about it next week.
All right. We were going to move on to Andor.
Werewolf by Night.
Werewolf by Night, sticking with Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
For the Halloween season, they put out their first seasonal special. We know we've got another one coming at Christmas. So this is our first taste of what they're going to give us. And color me impressed.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed the hell out of it.
Yeah.
This is this guy's directorial debut, by the way. He's a composer. He's a music composer.
Wow.
So it's like, hey, way to go, buddy.
Yeah.
If I can nailed it.
Yeah, the homage is paid to classic monster films were just gorgeous.
Okay, I got to bring up a few things. All right. Right away, we just saw the first picture of what a Marvel Universe vampire looks like.
Mm-hmm.
We saw it in the opening credits, and we
did,
saw
yeah.
one mounted on the wall. So now we know what their vampires are going to look like. They're very bat-like.
Yeah.
Not only that, did y'all notice in the credits in the beginning they were showing monster hunters? One of them was the fucking Wendigo.
I did not catch
No,
that.
There was a Sasquatch, but there was a Wendigo. The Wendigo.
Oh,
Okay.
shit, I missed
Yeah,
that.
in the opening credits. So, now we got the Wendigo established in the MCU.
Yeah.
Which is a big deal as well,
Yeah.
because that brings about the Canadian superheroes that we love.
Alpha
So,
Flight.
yeah. So, anyways, really excited to see Elsa Bloodstone.
Mm-hmm.
She's been around a long time. She's consistently in the Marvel universe, in the comic books.
And you're a fan of the actress too, right?
Yeah, Laura Donnelly. I love her. I think she's awesome. Everything I've ever seen her in, I liked. She was in Outlander. She was in Britannica. She was in the one show you liked, The Nevers.
Yes, the
The
Nevers.
Nevers.
She was in that.
And she always plays a badass. She always does. She plays that warrior, strong woman role, and she does it well.
Mm-hmm.
So excited to see her.
Yeah.
It seems like the MCU version of Bloodstone is very closely tied to chaos magic, given the way color has had a lot of significance in the MCU with magic.
That's a good point. You
But
know.
Bloodstone's really only ever known for just making the owner immortal,
Okay.
which they've obviously changed that because
Yeah,
Dad died.
this has died, and that was the
So-
entire point of passing it on.
Right, so that's all it really ever did in the comics that I
Okay.
remember.
We'll see what
It had
happens.
some power against monsters. I mean, it was
Yeah,
able
well,
to
it
blast
controls
them up against the
monsters, so
wall.
it does kind of give them control over a monster. But
Detects them as well, you know, when
Yeah.
the Werewolf by Night touched it.
Could be nothing, but that red color has indicated chaos magic every time except for the Soul Stone or the Reality Stone.
Yeah. And I think, you know, bringing in Elsa Bloodstone and, you know, this monsters, we know they're going forward with that side of the MCU, you know, the darker magic side with Blade and everything that's coming down the line.
mm-hmm.
Speaking of which, in an interview this week, Keanu Reeves said that it's been his dream since he was 8 years old to play Ghost Rider.
Okay, I mean,
They could do it. He's old.
yeah,
but
that's the only thing
they
that
can still do it. We got CGI and motion capture.
He could be an existing Ghost Rider, and they skip the
Yeah.
origin.
We've got a handful
Long
of Ghost
time
Riders.
ago.
yeah, there's, you know,
He could be
Ketch,
Danny
Blaze.
Ketch, and then we could introduce Johnny Blaze. He could be Johnny Blaze. Danny Ketch is our Ghost Rider. But we also got, I think they'll most likely go with the Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider because he's more relatable.
See, I don't think so. I think, you know, people
People
think it
get
goes, and if that's how they do it with, you know, Keanu Reeves mentoring Robbie Reyes, I'd be fine with that.
Mhm.
But, you know, when people think Ghost Rider, they think the iconic skull on fire on a motorcycle.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Definitely from our generation.
The Charger's pretty badass.
Oh, but Robbie Reyes, I love him to death. He's my favorite, but
Hellfire rolling out of a black Charger.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty fucking badass. I'm just saying.
If they're going with what people know, but that would be a good way to do it. Is kind of mentor,
I drew
mentee.
that flame. I would draw that flaming motorcycle on my notebook all the time growing up.
It was cool. It was just badass. But I'm happy we're getting into this kind of monster side of things. I
Right,
mean, it's
yeah.
going to open up different avenues for Marvel.
Mhm.
And I mean, I think I was just impressed by how well done a genre piece was in this movie or special, whatever you want to call it.
You know, and the decision to make it black and white, obviously at the front, they're saying we're doing this homage, we're going to stick to that. One of the reasons was it was bloody. And the
Yes.
same reason that the scene in Kill Bill went to black and white.
Mhm.
you can avoid a lot of gore in black and white. It just some splashes and you don't see that bright red.
Keep it in a PG-13
Yes.
arena.
While staying maybe the most violent scenes we've seen in the entire MCU.
That's a good point. I really hadn't thought about it that way.
It was incredibly violent.
Yeah. But it's still
And I
comedic at the
loved
same
it.
time.
Yeah, I mean, when that's Marvel's
Yeah.
fucking sweet spot.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it a lot. It was just, if you haven't watched it because you have your doubts, just check it out.
It's so
short.
enjoyable.
I was
so
like 40
enjoyable.
minutes in and paused it and was like, no, it's almost over.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, can we just say how great that Man-Thing's name is Ted? I just like out of nowhere, Ted.
They animated him so well when he got happy and the whole face lifted.
He did. He was very Muppet.
Yes.
You know, I enjoyed the hell out of it. So.
And you know what? I love Gael's the throwback look of the wolf. I mean, he almost looked like Wolfman from the 1960s.
You like the wolf?
We talked about
I
that.
did, because that was the goal. The goal was this level of throwback camp.
Yeah.
And I love that he came out looking like Wolfman from the 60s.
That's my only complaint, I think, would be
I
the
love
wolf.
I would
It
have been
was
happier
intentional.
with like a wolf head, like muzzle and all.
Something, a small, even in the comics, he had a small wolf head, human head with a wolf face. But it was just kind of a human head surrounded by hair. So, anyway, that's to each their own.
Yeah,
You know,
I'm not always going to
thing,
agree
but
on everything.
I did want to say this. I'm tired of hearing it online. Man-Thing predated Swamp Thing. Okay? He was here first.
Yeah.
It's true.
It goes back and forth between Disney and Marvel. Marvel steals Disney, Disney steals Marvel.
Well, Disney
I mean,
mostly
DC,
stole
I'm sorry.
Marvel.
DC. DC and Marvel have stolen and copied
There's
each other's
always a
characters.
counterpart in each comic continuity.
Thanos is a copy of Darkseid.
There's just, you can point out almost any of those at some point. So
It really doesn't matter. Man-Thing is not like Swamp Thing.
No.
It's different. He's an interdimensional being versus the green being. He's different.
It's Ted.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Ted.
Totally check it out if you haven't. It is a left turn for Marvel, and it led to all the right places.
And landed. Yep.
They did.
Nicely done.
I'd like to see him take more chances like that.
Me too. I am looking forward to the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special.
Right.
It's going to be very
Especially
interesting.
Gunn has referenced his love for the holiday special in Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
It's
God.
going to be ridiculous.
Oh, yeah, it
I
is.
can't wait. But it'll be James Gunn ridiculous, so it'll be great.
Wonderful.
So, odds on us seeing Drax in a Santa hat are pretty much guaranteed, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
They're going to decorate Groot, aren't they? As the tree.
As the tree. I guarantee you, we get.
It's a gag that writes itself.
Yeah,
I
it
guarantee
is.
you, we get a character introduced that will be important to Marvel
Oh, yeah?
because his love of the holiday special and the fact that Boba Fett.
I
was-
forgot that was his
first
first appearance.
was in that. So, I think he will try to do something in the same ilk.
I'm down for it. We're excited to see it.
Yeah. Sticking with Disney Plus, but moving over to the Star Wars universe. While I was gone for the last several weeks, Andor came out, and I caught up on the whole thing this week. Pretty cool show.
Yeah.
It is high quality. It's
Yeah.
just a very good, well shot, good storytelling.
Yeah.
The dialogue is great.
I didn't expect to like it at all. I mean,
Really?
I didn't care.
It's kind of how I felt too until I watched it. And it's
Yeah.
like, I didn't even mind the build up to that third episode because it was kind of low point the first
Yeah.
couple episodes. And that third episode really brought it home. But it's just, I think it's just so well written.
Yeah.
And they're very much playing up the spy angle, and I love the
Yeah.
spy thriller. And they're doing a good job of it.
Yeah, Tinker Tailor Spy. kind
Yes,
of thing.
exactly. I love that kind of stuff. And so, you're meeting characters in the younger years and things like that. My only complaint about the series, and I have it with any prequel series, you know what's going to happen to the character at
That's
the end.
exactly why I wasn't jazzed for it to begin with.
Yeah, but I've gotten over that. I'm really into it.
Saw the high point of his story,
Mhm.
and so but it's a good they're
It
doing
is.
a good job of telling the story.
It's so cool to see the roots of the rebellion. My
Yeah.
goodness, it's just the little people, the people that are tired of being stepped on. And
Yeah.
just,
Seeing Mon Mothma as like this frustrated housewife.
Oh my gosh, I think she just hates her husband.
Yeah.
God.
He is a tool.
And Skarsgård,
Oh,
God,
man,
he's
anytime
such a
you
good
bring
actor.
him in, yeah, you had me with Skarsgård.
Those
Third
two
episode.
personalities.
Yeah.
One like the very into the Empire, vaunted gentleman salesman. The other one who's just like, I'm gonna kill everybody.
I like it when he lets his hair down and he's
Yeah.
like, hey, hey. It's like,
And a lesser actor, that could have come off really bad, but he sticks it really well.
That's right. So, anyway, Andor, 2 thumbs up for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm not sure it's necessary still, but I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, you know, let's get it out
Be
there.
happy there's some new Star Wars to take in right now.
True.
So that's the good news.
Mando's coming though.
Mhm.
God, I can't wait. So excited.
So
Next year's big for Star Wars.
Yeah.
I mean, new Mando, Ahsoka. We got another season of Boba Fett, don't we?
I think we do next year.
yeah,
It's gonna
man,
be
that
good.
is going to be a good year.
Yeah.
We'll
Oh,
start learning more about Taika Waititi's Star Wars.
Oh.
His heart just broke. Did you see? Like,
I watched him die inside.
Oh man,
Damn.
I think Josh and I talked about this, but I think the reason Thor sucks so bad is because his heart is in Star Wars. He's making his Star Wars movie, and he's just
Well, he
like,
crushed our hearts with Love and Thunder.
I don't trust him anymore. I used to love him.
I don't trust him either.
He's gonna have to re-earn it. That's
He
all I'll
is.
say.
The rewatch made me hate it even more.
I get to watch it again. I can't.
I didn't hate it
Still
more,
angry.
but it nothing. You know, there was nothing. I was like,
Well,
oh,
by
that's
the
kind of
time-
redeeming.
By the time he spoke his little Guns N' Roses spell into the children, I was seething the second time. It's like, this is fucking terrible.
Yes,
So dumb.
yes, let the hate flow through you.
Oh, right now I need a fucking dancing mule near telling me that he's jealous. So dumb. I hate you, Taika.
Okay, let's
Which is
move on.
weird because we didn't used to say that.
No,
we still
Taika has
love
moved
him.
into like a second right below Tom Hardy.
God. Wow, I figured there'd been some buffer between those two. But damn.
No, not much.
So, what do you guys want to talk about next?
Guess before we get to the stuff that's spoilers to you, we'll talk about the persistent rumor this week that The Rock won and is bringing Superman in not only for his own sequel movie, but to be the big special surprise at the end of Black Adam.
Superman. Our Superman.
Our Superman.
Henry Cavill.
Henry Cavill.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, I just don't.
That movie's getting such bad talk. People, I mean, it's not going. The screenings have not gone well.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's been so, Dwayne Johnson's been fighting so hard for so long, and DC just does not have a good track record. Plus, you now have, a new CEO and everything. It's just,
But the new CEO has been pretty vocal. He wants Cavill back.
well, that's good at least. We get
Yeah.
something.
I don't understand why DC don't just pay attention. I mean, it's like they're still making the same mistakes. The Black Adam toys are already on the clearance aisle.
Jeez, it's not even out.
And the show's not even out. It's because they don't have their shit together. The toys aren't hitting in the right time. Same thing happened with Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they hit early, then they're on clearance by the time the movie comes out. It's
Wonder
just that
Woman
kind of
was
thing.
pretty bad impacted by COVID.
Yeah, they kept pushing that one back. So a lot of things, but this is not that case. This is just they're not communicating.
I think the
clearly.
world might be getting tired of The Rock.
There's a possibility of
I've been
that.
tired of The Rock. I haven't enjoyed something he's
I
done.
think it's-
I can't. Except last time I enjoyed The Rock, he was smelling what The Rock is cooking on the edge of a wrestling rink.
I think a lot of us that like comedy really enjoyed the Jumanji movies.
Those were good.
Right.
The River Journey Disney ride one was pretty good, pretty solid.
I never saw that.
I didn't watch it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, probably my two favorite movies he's ever done was The Rundown, where he played like a bounty hunter.
Stifler?
Yeah, it was Stifler down in South America. It was really, really good. And the other one was where he played a guy, and I can't remember the name. I wish I could. It was so good. He gets out of prison and is getting revenge against his brother's killers.
Mm.
And it's just, it's very, like an old 70s just revenge noir thriller. I mean, and he's brutal. And it's called Faster. That's what it's called.
Never even heard of that.
Really good. Check it out if you get the chance. But Bob Thornton's in it, for God's sake.
Anyway, it comes in like 2 weeks. I'm gonna go see
Yeah.
Black Adam, so we'll tell you what.
Yeah. We'll be there.
We seem real excited about it, guys.
I mean, at this point, it's Russian roulette with DC movies.
Mhm.
I'm pleasantly surprised sometimes. I walked out of the theater for Joker just elated. But then a lot of times I walk out of the theater and it's Wonder Woman 1984.
Well, it's not fair that they're putting 5 bullets in the gun instead of 1. All right.
Indeed. Indeed.
It's just not fair for any Batista.
Well, any other news we share before we get into?
I
spoilers?
will say I'm really excited. Henry Cavill is playing McLeod in a Highlander remake, and I love Highlander. Yes, exactly. So we don't know really anything about it, but I'm just pumped because we know he knows his way around a sword.
Yeah, there's an update this week, and the director and the writer said, we're still working on it. It's still happening. Yeah. It's in pre-production, so don't worry about it.
And Henry Cavill signed on?
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
All right, so that means the Netflix rumor is bullshit.
Sounds like it.
I just don't know. I don't know. It's complicated. I mean, it's just...
They said they owned his face, so...
You can't do that, I don't think. All right, well, speaking of walks of shame, I have to exit the show now because
Someone can't keep up with their nerd stuff.
I'm not caught up on either House of Dragons or Game of Thrones Rings of Power. So you guys have a good evening. It's been a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm out. So.
Flip that around a little bit.
Whatever, shut up.
Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, and Game of Thrones.
There was some news about the McFarlane Spawn reboot. He's making a new movie. I mean, just briefly, the writer of The Joker is writing. Jamie Foxx is definitely attached as Al Simmons, so didn't cover that, but that was a big update. That's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, McFarlane's been talking about this movie on Twitter and Facebook for years. It feels like so. It's a fun.
He's still killing it with the toys. He is doing incredible things for toys.
I gotta tell you, as a kid that grew up with McFarlane all over comic books, I will sit there on Facebook and watch him draw.
Mm-hmm.
It's just fascinating. I know you can do what he does. I can't.
No, it's just
it's like watching magic.
And he had his day, and McFarlane, I admired him in his day. I truly did, but his style just doesn't jive with today's styles. It just doesn't. But the nostalgia thing, I can get all over it.
Yeah.
But anyway, which one do you want to talk about first?
Let's talk about the one we're more excited about. 1, 2, 3, Game of Thrones. Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings. This last episode.
Yeah.
So fundamental to what you know about Lord of the Rings. So let's jump ahead to the Peter Jackson Lord of the Rings movies. You're watching the origin of these movies right now in a way that I didn't expect. I didn't expect to get all of this cool-ass fan service.
2 episodes ago, the formation of Mordor. That was... Oh, no, when he sticks the sword and the water starts pouring and he goes in the hole, that was that realization. That's about to be the catalyst for Mordor and Mount Doom.
Right. We just saw Mount Doom wake up and Mordor created that desolate area that they crawled out of.
The first couple episodes were like, well, why can the orcs that we know be in the sunlight? They can't. Mordor is just dirty and sunless.
Right. Mount Doom keeps ash in the clouds. So
and it's why when Saruman was bringing them up, he kept them underground and he was burning everything. He had to create this atmosphere of ash and dust.
Right.
Oh, God, it's good.
It's so good, y'all. I'm
loving the cast.
Lord of the Rings lore. This is all the good shit. I mean, even the Uric, the evil elf. That's a tremendous deal because that's the evil elves that we've always heard about. There was a couple of classes of elves that basically fell into shadow. One became orcs. The other one became this guy. This guy that I forget his name. You know what I'm talking about. Great actor. He's always in something. He was from Game of Thrones actually. He was the uncle, Jon Snow's uncle that went missing.
Oh shit! I didn't realize that.
Yeah, but great actor. That's a big deal. They're called the Uric. That's a precursor for what Saruman creates in the two towers, where he bred the Uric with demon men and created the Urikai.
Yeah.
So that's another special thing for us nerds.
I'm loving this development of Galadriel.
Mm-hmm.
You see why she's this strange, kind of creepy, mercurial person 1,000 years later. Right. She's been through a lot.
Yes, sir.
The actress is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
The other elf that's in love with a woman, I cannot think of his name.
Yeah.
He is rocking some moves that bring you right back to
cool shit. Just so cool.
Yeah, I mean, just the elf movements. It's everything that was missing from the Hobbit movies that you loved from Game of Thrones that just seemed to be missing from Hobbit is present in this show.
Yes, sir. That's
I'm
right.
loving it.
That's right. That's
I
right.
love the Harfoots.
The hardy Harfoots, the ancestor of our hobbits and our halflings. We're seeing where these hardy folk came from, and this is it. They endure so much, and they just stand up and move on.
Do you think that's Gandalf?
I don't know if it's Gandalf, but it is one of his people.
I think it's one of the first incarnations of Gandalf.
I think so. I think it's
I do.
actually him.
And I believe this is why he developed such a love for the hobbits.
That'd be great if it was. That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool. If this was young Ian McKellen right now we're watching.
Yes.
I'd love that shit. I'd love that shit. I know. My assumption was that he was a wizard because the idea was they always came from the stars.
And the evil people are tracking him down. They needed to get him. The evil people burning down the Harfoots thing was bloody painful.
No shit. They just found this bounty created by him, and then just it was crazy because he just kind of went and just set everything on fire and then just walked away. I was like, that's some evil shit, man.
Help me out here because you just said he.
No, it wasn't a he. It was a she.
It has boobs, right?
It does.
Okay.
Boobs. Yeah, you're right.
Is it a they them?
I don't know. I don't know anymore.
Okay.
I don't know about it.
Those people are creepy.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. And the assumption is that's Sauron. That's the assumption, but I don't know.
Sauron is everywhere. So people think that the wizard is Sauron. People think Adar is Sauron. People that's Sauron.
Right.
I mean, I think there's a chance that one of the elves is Sauron.
One of the elves.
Yes.
What do you mean?
The one that's wanting to build the tower. He has something he's hiding, and that tower is to forge the rings. And ultimately, doesn't Sauron forge the rings?
He forges them in Mount Doom, though.
Does he?
Yeah.
Well, they talk about that tower. They're using it to create enough energy to forge a mighty weapon.
Maybe, I don't know. I mean, I'm happy with any of that.
Yeah.
So I'm completely fine with any of that.
So of all the stuff out right now, it's probably my favorite.
Yeah, I can't wait for it. I enjoy it. I mean, it's Thursday and Fridays are great at the household. You know, when I get up earlier than everybody else and I sit in it and watch my shows with absolute peace and able to enjoy them and absorb them, and it's like, oh, so good, so good. So Lord of the Rings. I'd almost tell you, this is almost like a Star Wars situation. Watch the 3 movies and then come back to this. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like you did with Star Wars. Watch episode
Except
4, 5,
if you
6.
watch the Game of Thrones episodes, a lot of what's coming is told.
Lord of the Rings?
I mean, Lord of the Rings, sorry.
It's okay.
Lord of the Rings, no, we're talking about Game of Thrones. A lot of the Game of Thrones stuff we know what's going to happen with a lot of these characters. I see where you're going now. There's a time where Joffrey tells us exactly how a major character in this show dies in brutal detail.
Right.
So we know it. If you go watch those original shows, you will find the end plot of a lot of what we're watching here. What do you think of this show?
You're talking about House of Dragons?
Yes, House of Dragons.
Okay. I'm enjoying it.
You are.
Okay. I'm enjoying it.
I mean, I am too.
It's not the best thing. I'd rather watch Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
And certainly. I don't, but I'm still enjoying it. I still love being back in Westeros. I'm just happy to be there. Maybe that I'm ignoring a lot of things. But, this one is a true Game of Thrones. We're back to the political push and pull, which is that's part of that story.
Yeah. I guess where there was a grandiose overarching thing, there was the White Walkers coming, there's the rise of these new dragons, there's a lot of magic and intrigue, and you don't know where we're going. This is a story where we know where it ultimately goes, and it's really just a family backbiting. It's like the HBO show Succession, but with dragons.
Yeah, I don't see a problem with that. Because dragons.
I find myself, I could see myself getting bored with it.
Really? Yeah.
And also, another thing, just as I start to like these actors, they age them up and change most of them.
That sure did. That jump was a little strange. That was a pretty bold move. It was a little strange. It took me some adjusting. It did take me off guard. I was just
starting to dig Rhaenyra's actors, and then they changed them.
Yeah. That was pretty bold.
Yeah, but some people they don't change.
Mm-hmm.
Like they changed Rhaenyra, but the King's Guard that she had sex with, they kept, and he looks the same age. She got 10 years older. He looks the fucking same.
It's not wrong.
So I mean, I'm still watching it, but it certainly ain't got me like Game of Thrones did.
Mm-hmm. I got you. Got another episode tonight.
Yep, we'll see where we go. Maybe they'll age him up to 70, and we'll get new actors.
Yeah, why not? We need more drag. I do want to say things. These exotic designs of the dragons, they're so drastically different than what we're used to.
They are.
I mean, there's like 3 or 4 different designs of dragons.
Yeah, long, wyvern-like.
Mm-hmm. The big old one that was just like kind of gross.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like
The little boy getting it this week.
right.
And there is no character to cheer for. With the Game of Thrones, there were some people you could get behind.
Mm-hmm.
Jon, Bran, the Stark sisters. People to get behind. Man, these people all suck. There is no likable person in this show.
Mm-hmm.
It is just who sucks less. And they're
Say
probably going to lose.
The Targaryens always have they have the madness gene. They're always kind of crazy. Probably because they're fucking inbred. They all have sex with each other.
That one went full into the aunt and uncle thing.
Right?
They love incest in the Game of Thrones storytelling crew. I mean,
Yep, that's how we keep all that hair white, man, and light eyes. So, anyways, got
well,
anything else? That's about it.
drink done. I think show's over.
Sounds good.
As we say every week, it is a great time to be a nerd because there's so much out there. So, look how much we talked about tonight. Get out there, do something nerdy, and as always, come talk to us at CNA about it. Excelsior.
Stay safe,
Talk to you
everyone.
next week. Bye.